Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Sunday, September 29th, the year 2019. Let's talk trading. Weekly opening gap. It's the last trading day of the month, so let's make sure we use money and risk management. Let's end the month properly. Let's not lose any more than we're willing to lose on any given trade. So far for this week on the dollar yen, you see it poke into the upper weekly wick zone and exited, and you can see we're 15 pips below that open. We have two gaps that haven't filled, everything else filled, so I hope traders took advantage of that. Looking here, we're 186 pips below the yearly open. Still up 173 on the month. And we're putting in the opening range for the week here. We have to let Monday's candle close to get that opening range. And you can see we're well above the September open, but we are below July and August and June and all the rest. As far as those opening range, we dipped below the June 3rd open range right here, but we're still above the August and the September lows and the September high. Looking at the inside bar, we have a lot of inside bar candidates on the daily, and there's plenty on the weekly, and just a few here on the monthly. And we look at the daily, you can see here we dipped in that upper wick zone of the previous day's candle, and we're now 18 pips below it into the lower wick zone of the previous day's candle. And on the range, we've got one, the pound New Zealand, what I like to call the new beast, is already up to 131 pips of range. Something's going on in New Zealand because you can see the euro New Zealand here's 92, and these are both up, so it looks like New Zealand is taking it on the chin. Must be some news out. And dollar yen is still dropping. You see here, looks like at the close of this hour we'll have a new H1 lowest open. The pivot was just below the open in between the zones, so it filled, but no bias based on the pivot. So if you took the short triggers here, you may have stopped out, maybe not, depending on where you placed your stop. And if you entered here, you are now enjoying a few pips profit. It's too early for the rat zone, range of only 31 pips. And you can see here prices dropping. But let's take a look here. Where is that weekly pivot? Oh, it's kind of hard to see where it is. A lot of overlap. And it looks like we hit, is that the monthly pivot? It's really hard to see. They're close. There's weekly R1. So somewhere in here is the weekly pivot. Maybe if I go down to about M5. Maybe we can get these lines to separate. Waiting on a tick. So it'll plot. Maybe try for M1. Oh, while we're waiting, fellow traders, if you have any of my indicators, just the ones you download or the ones I've sent to you or the donationals, and you're having a problem, you need to send a chart. Whenever you send an email or message, send a chart so I can see what you see. Okay, so for example, I need to see this information here. So if you're having a problem over here with the dashboard or something, don't just give me a snippet. I need to see the whole chart, everything, okay? Because that's the only way I can figure out how to debug it. Now let's see, that doesn't help at all. So, oh, there we go. Weekly pivot, 118.11. Oh, why did that do that? Weekly pivot here on dollar yen, 107.69. Looks like we're heading to it. This might be a good place to place a buy, or if you're already short, a good place to take profit. Maybe price will bounce off that weekly pivot, and it could continue all the way down the weekly S1. Just have to wait and see what happens. And that's, since we don't know what's going to happen, that's why we employ stop losses. So missed pivots, only one missed pivot for the month of September. And that's at the 106.21 right here. Price action. I know it's boring. Same thing day after day. One ball, red at the line, short, two ball, look for green at the line, reversal. Wick zone, in and out, in and out. Why? And we want to have methods, entries that are repeatable, especially day after day. Something that we can pretty much take to the bank, right? And here we go, crossing that previous day's open right here. Nice short, 5 pips ahead right now. And last week we talked about indicators. I haven't decided what I want to talk about this week. I was thinking maybe we could revisit the the pro, the pro series I did. A lot of people like that, trading psychology. But I tell you, I am getting bombarded with emails. There's a group of traders out there. I don't know if they formed a company or what, but they are really pressing all the buttons, all the sales buttons. And it's really funny to watch it, because once you know the techniques, you can just see them, coming from a mile away. I mean, people, click on this for this, and all it is they want to collect your email address and your name, and then they'll send you something. But it won't be enough, because then they want you to take their seminar or their webinar, or buy their, this, that, or the other, their platinum this, their gold that, their diamond this. I mean, oh, and time's running out. We only have a certain number of seats. They make it urgent. They do everything possible to separate you from what's in Hip National Bank, known as your wallet. As you can see, when I open the trading profile here, we have our Einstein line, we have our short trigger, and enjoying about 8 pips or so right there. Not bad way to start the week. Okay, we've got rat zone here. using the candle colors, and also looking at the higher high, lower close, lower low, higher close reversal. It's a pretty good scalper. In fact, let me pause and show you something I was been working on. Okay, I'm back. Now, before your head explodes, these are not squiggly lines. Okay, what these are, this is just the line chart connecting the opens and the closes. So these aren't squigglies like moving averages or something crazy like that. You might ask, why would I do that? Well, remember I was working with that higher high, lower close, lower low, higher close. So I thought sometimes if you look at things differently, you might see something that you don't normally see. So what I did was I decided to do this because we want to see where the indicator's triggering and what it triggers, and would you have been profitable if you took the trigger. So you see here, there's a whole bunch of shorts, and finally, boom, it happened. And so I wrote a multi-pair multimeter here that right there. It'll probably go out maybe in the next batch of donational indicators along with the rest of these. And so this is the open, high, low, close plot. And of course, you can determine which ones you want to have plotted as a line chart. I had them all, but it's too noisy. So you can see here, this triggered a buy. It didn't go up that much. But so I look here and I see, okay, what's going on where? So, and I'm really focusing on M1 and M5 here. So, okay, now we got the euro, and it just triggered here. Let's see what it looks like on M1. Triggered here along. So we had a close, higher close off of bottom. So we can see if that's going to pay off or not. Okay, now we've got the pound, yen, the beast. That triggered on M1 and M5, triggering short. So let's see, let's go back to that euro. It's kind of fun to watch. Okay, so I think we had, what did we have? We were looking long on the euro, I believe. Now, the thing about these arrows, these are live. So you might see it go up, but then before the bar closes, it could go down and the close could be a lower close. So then the arrow would go away. So these are just alerts to get you there so you can see it as it's happening. So that way, if it closes and it's good, then you can take that. Look at New Zealand US dollar. Looks like it's coming back here on the M5, 15, H1 right here. Well, that's because it's now just top of the hour. So see, a couple of minutes into the hour. But anyway, that's just something I'm working on. Let's see, on the back to the dollar yen, you can see we either take out some highs to go up, take out some lows here for price to go down. And the opens, I still need to work on that. And looking at the ATR lines, in fact, there was a trader had me modify B clock for him, so who wanted to have the ATR and ADR, or actually it's the current range. So anyway, we can see here we actually hit half of that ATR in the open. So fellow traders, just remember this week, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So get out there and drain the banks.